afternoon, race fans, and welcome here as we get set for race number 4 of Season 5 of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. Now, our last race was, of course, the Last of Us Late Series at Chicagoland, and even up to that point, I wasn't sure where we were going to go for our 4th weekend. Finally decided where we're going to go. We are here at the 3/4 mile short track known as Memphis International Raceway, as we are here in the Musicplex, if you will, I guess, right down here in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee, getting ready for 50 laps of racing. Now, we've already had some very interesting races. We ended up having, of course, that really interesting photo finish race at Daytona where J Gilbert went to victory lane. N Guenther, in only his 2nd career start, took the checkered flag at Phoenix International Raceway, that newly reconfigured Phoenix. And then last week, Z Flickinger picked up career win number 1 in his 3rd full-time season, taking the checkers at Arizona Speedway. So what will we see here today? You've got some candidates up here that are all looking for their first win of their career. Phil Parker and K Langeland, 2 drivers out of Fitzwater, Australia Racing. Teammates make up the front row. Ryan George right there in 3rd. All 3 of those drivers, they've been in this series for a while, and they all want to go to victory lane. I believe Parker has been in the series, I believe all 3 of them have been in the series since Season 3. So they definitely want to go to victory lane here for the first time, and they saw Flickinger do it last week, so you could bet that that's definitely also upped their anticipation of when they're going to be able to get a 1 in their career win column. Point standings are still somewhat close to coming into this race, at least amongst the top 5. We start getting to this point, and this is when drivers that have done really good at the start of the season start to pull away. So we'll see if we're going to have a good points battle here today or not. Without further ado, though, let's go down trackside, get the most famous words in motorsports here at Memphis.
Drivers, start your engines!
Now, definitely being a short track position is going to be very, very important. So these drivers that start up here at the front of the field have a good chance that they will finish at the front of the field. So we'll give you your top 10 the points real quickly coming into this race, presented by Golden Corral. Z Flickinger, with his win last week at Arizona, takes the points lead. Rookie Andrew Davis now 2nd. Alexander Rowe in 3rd. Top 3 points separated by 9 points. Phil Parker jumped up to 4th place, starting on the pole today. Joshua Hyatt in 5th. The rest of the top 10 in the standings are Jake Rogers, Carson Gum, A Baranauskas, Mark Davidson, and Heather Gallant. So let's see what's going to happen here. It was kind of a late addition to the schedule, but we're ready to go green flag racing. Here at Memphis, let's roll! Phil Parker's going to get the early advantage there on the bottom. Langeland's going to slot into 2nd. Jessica Miles looks like she's in 3rd, and I thought there might be a battle for 3rd between her and Ryan George, but George now in a battle for 4th with Joshua Hyatt, who's going to get around on the high side, possibly coming down here into turn 1. George battles back down low. Here comes Austin LaPlante behind him. Eli Bright, Sky Commons all lined up on the inside line. Bright now shifts up to the outside line. So the outside line might be the fastest way around the racetrack. We'll see here in a moment as Miles clears to 3rd. Hyatt trying to clear Ryan George for 4th. Hasn't done it yet. George still alongside him as they hit the start-finish line. Now George drives it in deep. Ooh, got a little loose there. And that's going to cost him the 5th position. Or, I'm sorry, the 4th position. Joshua Hyatt will clear for the spot. Now he's going to try and see what he could do here with the 25 of Jessica Miles as the battle is on for 5th. LaPlante and Ryan George. LaPlante will take the spot. Austin lost the points lead last week after a very disappointing DNF at Arizona. Trying to battle back. He dropped from the points lead all the way down to the 13th position in points. Lost 12 spots in the standings last week and didn't even make it, I think, past the completion of lap 5 in that race. So looking a lot better here today as up front Phil Parker has pulled away from teammate K Langeland. Parker had a great race at Daytona where he led, I think it was the most laps. Then they went to Phoenix. He did not have a good run there. DNF'd out of that race. Last week at Arizona with a good run that moved him back up into the top 5 in the standings, and now looking for his first career win as he has about almost a second and a half back to Langeland, who good run for him right now, but again is pretty early on in this race, and this is a short track. Joshua Hyatt's a man on a move. He's moved from, I think he started around the 8th position. He's already up here to 3rd. LaPlante right behind him in 4th as these two are starting to run down K Langeland. Jessica Miles has fallen back to 5th into the clutches of last week's winner, Z Flickinger, trying to continue on his momentum from his win last week. Obviously comes in the points leader as well, so looking really good, like he would keep the points lead if he continues to run where he's at. Brooke Allen right behind him there in the 3. Her start to the season's been off to a little bit of a slope, as she's 31st in the point standings. She DNF'd last week at Arizona as well, the defending Hershey's Cup Series champion. Here's Flickinger, going to make the move on Jessica Miles. That is for a spot in the top 5, and he will get it. So that 96, he's fast here today. I think our best battle near the front may end up being for the 2nd position, because while Langeland is losing ground to his teammate Phil Parker, he's also having ground gained on him by Joshua Hyatt and Austin LaPlante. They're about 8/10 off of his back bumper. And Joshua Hyatt seems to be running a lot faster lap times. He just ran his fastest lap of the race in 24.328 to Langeland's 24.570. Let's see what it is this time, a 5.74. And Hyatt just ran a 2.19, again his fastest lap of the race. And there you see he has quickly closed up the gap between himself and that 30 car. And if these two start to battle, that'll bring 4th place Austin LaPlante up into this battle as well. Joshua Hyatt, I don't know if he's close enough to make a move down here to turn 1 or not. He's close, but I don't think he's close enough. Might make a move down here into turn 3, actually. And that's exactly what he's going to try and do. One car got tight on the inside line, though. Langeland battles back up top. And now Joshua Hyatt might even clear him here, but if he doesn't, he'll have the preferred line going down here to turn 1. So move Joshua Hyatt to 2nd. So Joshua Hyatt's laid down some pretty good laps the last few times around. Let's see now if he'll be able to get back into his rhythm and maybe run down the 31 of Phil Parker. Still a long ways to go in this one. It's now LaPlante trying to get Langeland for 3rd. Thought he might try and make a move to the inside here in turn 1. Thinks better of it. So we know that Joshua Hyatt ran faster lap times than Langeland, but now we got to wait till he gets back in a rhythm here before we can start comparing his lap times to Phil's. As LaPlante's going to try and make the move here through 3 and 4. Not quite clear, but I think he'll get him cleared down here into turn 1, so move LaPlante into the podium. Alright, so Joshua Hyatt looks like he's gotten back into his rhythm. Last time by was a 24.395. Phil Parker with a 3.68, which was actually about 3/100ths faster than Joshua Hyatt. So right now, out in clean air with clean racetrack, Phil Parker's just laying down laps. That time, though, he ran a 24.5. Joshua Hyatt ran a 24.7. And Hyatt now is starting to get reeled in by LaPlante. So if this turns into a battle for 2nd, that's going to be good news for Phil Parker to continue to pull away. He's already got little over half a straightaway between himself and the 92. Let's drop back here through the field and see a couple other drivers that are making their way up to the front. Look at the 15 of Cole Deaver. Deaver comes into this race currently situated 15th in the points. Definitely a lot better than he was at last year. Right on his back bumper of his teammate there, Z Flickinger, as he just got by Brooke Allen, move him to 6th position. So a good run right now for the Wrangler Chevy, and then a couple cars back behind them is Eli Bright in the 02. Eli Bright's had a bit of a struggling start to the year, 29th in the standings, but looking good right now in that Strigley Motorsports entry, as he's currently slotted in the 8th spot. Another driver who has struggled this year has been M McIntire. He comes into this race currently situated 35th in points. He had a decent run last week at Arizona, but his races at Phoenix and Daytona were absolutely horrendous, so he's kind of in rebound mode right now. And right behind him, Chloe Ericsson in the 46. Ericsson coming into this race currently situated 36th in points. So both the 9 and the 46 getting well-needed runs here today at Memphis. We're just going to have to see if it lasts. We have a battle for 9th here right now as Ericsson got a nice run. And she's going to get to the inside of M McIntire. Don't know if she'll complete the pass off turn 4 here or not. Actually, I think she did. Yes, she did. She cleared him. I think Matt might have given her the spot, actually, realizing the 46 is a little bit faster than he is. Meanwhile, Joshua Hyatt did get passed for second. LaPlante takes the spot and has run away with it. So now LaPlante is the driver that's trying to run down Phil Parker. That time by, he lost about a 10th. LaPlante with a 24.587, and Parker ran 6/100ths faster with a 5.20, but he is catching traffic. There's the drivers on the tail end of the lead lap, very tail end of the field. Ryan George, our Daytona winner, Elijah Gilbert, Rob Evans, Yin Canario, as well as Gene Stanford, Carson Gum. So as he encounters this traffic, Phil Parker's going to have his hands full. And just take a look at that 66. This is a great track to see that color transition from the orange to the blue. Watch the side of the race car there. You see it turn from orange to blue. You probably see it off this corner as well. Right about here. That is cool. Phil Parker going to work on traffic. He's going to bypass Ryan George, put him a lap down. Now sets his sights on our Daytona winner, Elijah Gilbert. Ooh, he tried to make the move there, couldn't quite do it. So now, as he's caught in traffic, let's try and see on the top left if LaPlante gains any ground on the 31. Bear in mind, all these cars that Phil Parker is passing are cars that eventually LaPlante's going to have to deal with as well. Gained about 0.3 that time, did the 7. There he is. Traffic is about maybe half a straightaway ahead of him. As now Phil Parker goes to work on more drivers. Rookie Rob Evans will go a lap down. And now he's got himself to the inside of Yin Canario in the 45. That 31 car is wound up, whether it be clean racetrack, traffic. That car looks really good right now as we're nearing the halfway point of this race. Now we'll go to the inside of the 99. Of Carson Gum, Gene Stanford, Mark Davidson just up ahead. LaPlante did manage to cut down the lead just a little bit more, but again, the 31 is dealing with traffic, but he's doing a pretty doggone good job getting through it. Look at him make a big move down there to the inside of Gene Stanford, opens the door down low. He'll complete the pass, and now we'll probably try and go to the inside of Mark Davidson here. Yes, he will. Rookie K Batson would be next on Parker's hit list, as now Gene Stanford is going to fill the hole that Parker made, and she'll try and pick up a spot on Mark Davidson. That time by, LaPlante only gained about a 10th, and that's because he has now caught the traffic that Phil Parker has already dealt with. And it doesn't look like he's doing quite as well. He hasn't yet completed the pass on Ryan George in the 4. Oh boy, he tried to get to the inside there, but I think there was a lane open too, and he didn't really take it. Phil Parker closing in on the 22 of K Batson. I've been looking to see if there's any Michael Norman Motorsports cars back here that might try and play defense for their teammate LaPlante and hold up that 31, but you look here and there's nobody from the M stables. Parker turns it hard left. He'll get to the inside of the rookie striped Ford Mustang of K Batson. He'll complete the pass, probably before they even exit turn 2. There's no doubt about it. He's got the fastest car in the field, and that's undoubtedly why he started on the pole. LaPlante has just now gotten around Ryan George. Joshua Hyatt trying to do the same, and as LaPlante had troubles getting around that Pittsburgh Steelers Camaro, that has allowed Joshua Hyatt to start to reel LaPlante back in a battle for second. And not too far back behind them, Kyle Langeland in 4th place is also starting to reel in 2nd and 3rd place. And he looks like he's doing pretty good getting by traffic, almost similar to his teammate Phil Parker. Now LaPlante going to try and get aggressive there with Elijah Gilbert. Almost turned him. Got into his left rear quarter panel a little, and now we'll complete the pass on him. Got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lap cars between himself and Phil Parker, who now is on the back bumper of rookie Andrew Gonzalez, and he's going to very easily complete that pass. I mean, undoubtedly right now it's looking like this is Phil Parker's race to lose. His car is looking really, really good, and he's got a number of lap machines between himself and LaPlante. The last thing that Phil Parker wants to see right now, I guarantee you, is a caution, because this car has been really good since the drop of the green flag. Whether it be short run, long run, he now will put A Baranauskas down a lap. Baranauskas not having that great a run here today, 8th in the point standings, way back here. And now J Jefferson is the next driver that Phil Parker will have to deal with here, coming out of turn number 2. I mean, look at this. I mean, Phil Parker, one thing I'm noticing about that race car being able to make the move on these lap cars, he gets tremendous corner exit, which allows him to get the big runs out of turns 2 and 4, allow him the faster speed down the straightaways to be able to make these moves to the inside going into turns 1 and 3. At this point, he has now lapped up to 32nd place, 31 cars in the lead lap. Rookie H Gallant would be the next driver up ahead, along with the 89 of Quentin Moore. At the same time, as he is lapping these race cars, he is also increasing his gap back to second place. Austin LaPlante, last time by 6.6 seconds, this time over 7 seconds. As LaPlante is now gotten by Davidson, but he's still got Gene Sanford, K Batson, Andrew Gonzalez, and A Baranauskas, as well as J Jefferson to pass, and maybe some more, as Phil Parker now on the back bumper of the 81. H Gallant, 10th in the point standings. Not the run she was looking for here tonight. Today, I should say. Gallant, 5th in the point standings, actually tied for 4th in the rookie points. Saw Rob Evans get put a lap down. He's 2nd in the rookie point standings. As now Quentin Moore will also go a lap down. So that will leave us, I believe, 29 cars on the lead lap. Quentin Moore, the first car lap down, in 30th place. Up ahead, you've got James Shelly. Looks like that's Alexander Rowe and Jake Rogers. As Phil Parker hits the line, 14 laps to go here at Memphis. It's been clean and green, and Parker has dominated. Take a look at Phil Parker's finishes so far this season. At Daytona, I mentioned that he was dominating, led the most laps, got past near the end, ended up finishing in 5th. Hit a bump in the road when they went to Phoenix, though, as Parker finished out that race behind the wall. I'm sorry, no, he didn't finish behind the wall, but he finished in 28th. And then last week got back on the comeback trail at Arizona, finishing 2nd to the eventual winner, Z Flickinger. And here today, that 31 car can do no wrong. He's already lapped Jake Rogers. He's now going to try and make the pass on Alexander Rowe, and now pulls alongside of James Shelly. Shelly running 27th, so 26 cars now on the lead lap. Next drivers on the hit list up here, Garrett Sidner, Carter Friesen, and rookie Juan Garcia. Now I am noticing LaPlante little by little is starting to reel in Phil Parker, but when you consider the fact that he's got about 8-9 lap cars between himself and Phil Parker, that's a lot of time he's going to lose having to pass these race cars. And every time he's passing race cars, Phil Parker is also passing race cars. There'll be 10 to go this next time by for the 31 of Phil Parker. More traffic up ahead of him, but just as much traffic behind him, separating him from Austin LaPlante. Now we have had a couple of drivers pop up here into the top 10 that we probably should talk about. There's one of them, he just actually went to 3rd. Patrick Curtis was in 4th, just took 3rd from Joshua Hyatt. So from out of nowhere, he's popped up into the top 10. Great run for the 48 car. Cole Deaver has now cracked the top 5 as he's up in 5th place. And Nathan Hudson has now cracked the top 10. There he is, making the pass on his teammate Brooke Allen. That is, I believe, for the 7th position. Now looking for 6th place, which would be Eli Bright. So Hudson's a man on a mission right now as well. Curtis and Hudson were not in the top 10 when we last looked, and they've now popped up into there. There's LaPlante still holding court in 2nd place. He's got about 5 seconds between himself and the 3rd place car, Patrick Curtis. So if he just rides right there, he'll finish with a runner-up spot. But it'll be the 2nd time this season that LaPlante has finished 2nd. The first time was back at Daytona, half a car length short of winning that race to Elijah Gilbert. Juan Garcia's now gone a lap down. Sky Common's about to go a lap down. Carter Friesen. There's our Phoenix winner, N Guenther, going a lap down. And that might have been right there the first time that I've seen that 31 car get tight on the inside line. He drifted up the track just the least little bit. So he might be pushing it just a little too much. In a very precarious position right now, too, kind of boxed in. He's got a car in front of him, a car to his right, and a car behind him. Yeah, he's got a little bit of an area here where there's nowhere to go. But the good news for him is if he keeps the car in one piece, he's hitting the line with 5 laps to go this next time by. So far this season, 2 of our 3 races have been won by a first-time winner. N Guenther getting the first win of his career and only a 2nd start at Phoenix. And then, of course, last week, Z Flickinger going to Victory Lane, Arizona, first win of his career. Phil Parker trying to make it 3 in a row with a driver getting their first career Pizza Hut X Series win. But, boy, they are racing hard in front of him, trying to stay on the lead lap. Friesen, Navarro, that's Wyatt Quail in the 62. Parker has 4 laps to go here at Memphis. Still maintained about a 6-second lead back to LaPlante, and that's not counting the number of lap machines between himself and the 7. And a number of those lap machines right behind him are racing double wide. So that's kind of almost like a moving wall for LaPlante. Parker finally made the pass on Friesen. He will now make the pass on Angel Navarro. 3 laps to go. If I'm Phil Parker, I just ride. I mean, he wants to be aggressive. He wants to put as many cars a lap down as he can. But if I'm him, I don't risk it. I don't try and, put my car in a precarious position and throw away this win. Ryan George in the 4, dead last. Something definitely has been wrong on that race car today. He's about to go 2 laps down. As we have 19 cars in the lead lap now. Wyatt Quail scored in 20th, first car lap down. Parker will easily make the pass on the 4, who has been passed by everybody now. It's now the first car 2 laps down. Pretty clean racetrack before you get to Phil Parker's teammate Daniel Olson in the 32, so I don't really think he'll race his teammate that hard, especially since right now he's seeing the white flag. 1 more lap to go for pole sitter Phil Parker. He has dominated this race. He's going to reap the rewards. Undoubtedly has had the best car here today. And he has lapped all but 19 cars in a 50-lap span. He's been flying today, and he'll fly to victory lane. First career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. Phil Parker takes the checkers here at Memphis. So we've got 3 in a row, 3 races in a row where a driver has gotten their first career Pizza Hut X Series win. And if there was a better car in the field than Phil Parker, they definitely didn't show it. Phil Parker dominates, led all 50 laps, and as I said, only left 19 cars on the lead lap at the close of this race. No, I'm sorry, only 17 cars on the lead lap. I thought it was 19. That's even more impressive. He lapped, what would that be? 25 cars? Good grief. That's about 1 car per 2 laps, just to put that in perspective. But Phil Parker with the win. Great run for some of the Michael Norman Motorsports cars there, though. LaPlante in second. Hudson up through the field to finish in third. He might have had as fast a car as Phil Parker, to be honest with you, but didn't have as good qualifying spot as Phil did. Patrick Curtis popped up into the top 10 there for a solid outing of 4th. Eli Bright in 5th. Brooke Allen 6th. Good run for her today. Cole Deaver there in 7th. 8th place for Diego Yepez. We didn't talk about him today, and he got a solid 8th place run. 9th will be Chloe Ericsson. And completing your top 10, Alex Gray there in the 10th position. So, pretty good run for a couple of the drivers out of ML Motorsports. Matt McIntire gets 11th. 12th was Mason Wood. Zach Flickinger, following up his win last week, gets 13th. Jessica Miles 14th. And the rest of the cars that finished on the lead lap were Charles Jackson 15th, Andrew Davis in 16th, and Daniel Olson in the 17th position. Everybody else finished off the lead lap. And a couple of those notables that finished off the lead lap, as you look on down here through the remainder of the finishing results, you've got Alexander Rowe. He ended up finishing back in 25th. He was 3rd in the points coming into this race. You've also got Jake Rogers finishing in 27th. He was 6th in the points coming to this race. Carson Gum all the way down 39th. He was 7th in points. A Baranauskas in 34th. She was 8th in the standings. Mark Davidson, 9th in points. He finished in 38th. And Heather Galland, who came in 10th in the points, finishes in 26th place. So we could have some drivers very easily popping their way back up into the top 10 in points. I'm looking at drivers like Olson, LaPlante, and Cole Deaver possibly jumping back up into the top 10 in the point standings after good runs that they had here today at Memphis. But that's going to do it here today. Pretty good race there, clean and green all the way, and Phil Parker dominates from coast to coast. Pole to win, led all 50 laps, and gets career win number 1 here in the Pizza Hut X Series. So right now, if the playoffs were to begin, the 4 drivers we know right at the moment that would be in the playoffs would be Elijah Gilbert, Nick Guenther, Zach Flickinger, and Phil Parker. Pretty interesting field we're putting together for our playoff system this year, and still a long ways to go. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give us a video, like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finish results. These are your rookie points and your overall point standings heading into next week. We got to finish off this race weekend, as Memphis will also make its debut on the Hershey's Cup Series schedule tomorrow, before we pack it up and have all 3 series trucks, Pizza Hut X Series and Hershey's Cup Series, next week at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.